Alright, what have we got now? Temple Ruins, it says? Okay. Oh, and by the way, one thing I will add about the previous part, because it looks like you need to get every box, and I flat out stated not going to happen. Need to get every box in order to unlock the things so I can access other things. That just means, no, it's not happening. Okay. I hate this, and that is precisely why. Because I hate this camera angle. I cannot see what it is I'm trying to do. I mean, left to right is different. I can actually see where I am and where I'm going, but this... It's because I saw the one on the side first. Like when I was here previously, I can see the thing on the left. I guess I can actually see it now. But no, I'm right here, see how it's so dark up there? But I can see the thing on the left going up and down. So that's where I think the path is, even though it apparently is not. Okay, again, this is, to me, this is actually bad design, even, but because I can't see that how much of a gap there is. This is just, and I get it, this is how games used to be designed, but there's a reason why they don't design like this anymore, because it's really not fun. Because you're either gonna undershoot or overshoot, and it's like, okay, well, what benefit does this have? None. I'm saying this isn't making the game better, it's making the player frustrated. So why should the player continue? And don't get me wrong, I do understand the whole... Hang on. Stop. Okay, they are up high enough. I'm not in immediate danger from that. Okay. Please don't make me have to do anything here. Thank you. Oh. I don't like this. Come on. Okay. Somehow I made it. How the hell is that a thing? Alright. See, I don't trust any line on this. I really thought that was gonna die out faster. Oh, okay, I see. I'm focusing so much on going right that going down was not immediately obvious to me. Son of a bitch. I was expecting more of a gap there. More like the, Native Fortress, the torch things and that. Now. Son of a bitch. Let me put it like this. If you had camera control in this game, so much of this would be simpler, and that's a problem. Like, I consider that a problem when it's like, yeah, can we, by making one change like that, which technologically speaking would be a pain in the ass. I get that. But functionally, like, as far as, like, can we give this to the player? Yes. It just screams that, yeah, maybe we're not actually designing it that well. But that granted, is a me thing. I know that. Oh. That was exceedingly stupid what I just did. Not as dumb as that. But it still is, to me. How is that a challenge if it's like... Well, how is it a worthy challenge for a player if it's like... Yeah, if we just weren't locking you down, you could do it then. How is that a challenge? I mean, I think that's a very fair question. And there are other games like that as well, where it's like, well, no, if we just made something operate this way instead, and it's like not even that huge a change for the player, can be clear. I mean, I do get that, you know, like adding in camera control here might be exceedingly difficult. I'm not at all taking away from that or trying to suggest anything else. Camera control can be a very difficult thing. Son of a fucking bitch. What have we got? But it still is. There are some games where it's like, okay, if we just change it this way, you've now completely removed a challenge. That's not a healthy challenge, then. And I have screwed this up. Oh, wow. I got very lucky there. Son of a bitch. I am furious. But anyway, to use an example of what I mean there, the Borderlands 1, 2, the pre-sequel, I've not played Borderlands 3. I have it, I just haven't played it yet. Is an example of, well, you do have an example in there of something where if you make this one change, suddenly the challenge of some aspects of it is removed. And it is such a... I think that exposes something to their design that is a fundamentally broken design. That it really should be if there is more Borderlands games, like hey, maybe we shouldn't actually do it this way. You... Oh. So the thing about the Borderlands series is the fact that when it's basically just how it is very, very much designed against single player. Yeah, well, I don't care. We can save over it. Because I want to finish making this point. In that, and actually I should also... I'm just trying to think of the description for this part. Its camera controls are amazing. That's all I can really think of for it. But yeah, so it's really bad in Borderlands pre-sequel because in that game felt so much like it was we only designed and tested this assuming that you will have another player with you. If you're playing alone, you're playing it wrong. And it's like, well, that's you not knowing what the hell you're talking about. And I'm sorry, I will call it any developer. It's like, that is not... The Borderlands franchise, Borderlands series, I try to combine this to say series, is not a multiplayer game. It's not a multiplayer franchise. It is a single-player franchise that also supports multiplayer. It needs to be designed around that. But they have things, like, there's one thing where it's like, there's a lock that the combination changes, and in order to put in the combination, you have to shoot numbers, and it takes a while for the tumblers to turn. And the code is given somewhere else. If I just had one other player, they could be there, tell me in chat what it is, and I put it all in. Instead, I had to run back and forth and shoot the thing and wait so long. I mean, it was whoever designed that just doesn't think that anyone plays alone. Thinks that everybody has friends. Everybody has friends that wants to play this game. Everybody has friends who want to play this game and are willing to purchase the game and have the time to play the game with you. It's like, it is a despicable thing, okay? It really is to do that, because you should not... The only barrier to entry, I feel, to playing a game like that should be you purchasing it. Okay? It shouldn't... I mean, it's one thing. It's like, if it is straight up a multiplayer game, that's one thing. I was like, an MMORPG, you can pick up groups in that. I don't even know if that's an option in the Borderlands series. I don't recall it being, but it's like, at most it's a 4-player game then. Why would you ever be like, no, you have to have players? I'm so against that. But anyway, with the Fight for Your Life system, well, not even just that, but I ran into issues where I would be fighting a boss, and I would get the boss down to fairly low health, but then would kill me. I now respawn, and I will have less ammunition than I had when I went in. Sometimes the amount, because you are given some, but it's typically not like everything. But it's also, grenades are never restored. At least none of the 3 games I have played. Which, as I said, I've not played Borderlands 3. Those are not restored. Grenades are just not restored. You use them, they're gone. So you are always basically going to come back in the same or weaker condition. But the boss always comes back at full health. And it's like, that's really nonsense when you consider if they were just one other player, a player that could stay in the battle zone, in the boss arena. There we go. That's what I meant. In the boss arena, and not die while you run back in. The boss is now much simpler. This is a critical design flaw, because that means a hypothetical level 0 player that's just actively running around, actively avoiding the boss and whatever minion enemies might be there. So long as you have a hypothetical useless player that just is able to exist, the challenge of the boss is significantly reduced. That is bad design in my opinion, because that does mean that in theory, maybe let's say I was playing that and I get a friend who can play games, so it isn't necessarily interest, but it's like, no, I just need to do this and just basically don't die in there, and they're just running around. Now my challenge has been reduced. Technically, the boss is more powerful because there's a second player there and gets scaled up. But just by a a non-offensive player being there, the boss cannot reset its health. That's a major design flaw. To me, then, what the solution is, bosses have health regeneration. So it's just in the time it takes you to get back, the health that the boss is able to regenerate some. And it can be regenerating while you're there, which is also handy because then you can use it as a gate where, okay, if the boss is healing at, say, 100 health per second, you need to be able to do over 100 health per second in damage. If you can't, then you'll never be able to defeat it. That's fine. I think that's perfectly acceptable. Because you can then design that, okay, by the time the player reaches this point, should have that capability. You can absolutely do that. And it's another then tool that you can use for scaling and gating enemy encounters, boss encounters. But that's not what it is in Borderlands. It is instead this, no, you've got this whole situation where a hypothetical level 0 player makes the challenges much simpler. And it is kind of like here, a hypothetical camera control system, some of these challenges are now removed. And it's like, that's a weakness to me because it's like, camera control isn't an unreasonable addition. A second player in Borderlands is not an unreasonable, in fact, it seems to be an expected situation in some cases. So, yeah, part of it is also the whole, it is clearly being designed, some of these levels, like this last one, Temple Ruins, is clearly designed to abuse the fact that you cannot turn the camera, so you don't actually know your distance. And like the whole, those columns going up and down that you have to jump onto, and you can't tell the difference to them or between them, that is absolutely meant to abuse the fact that you have no depth perception. You have no true depth perception for them. So, yeah, anyway. I can stop this recording and then I'm going to drink water because I'm getting kind of parched. Happens when I talk flat. Anyway, see you next time, and hopefully with this one, Road to Nowhere, it's not going to make me want to kill anything. Metaphorically speaking, of course. Well, actually, no, I may want to kill some of these enemies. But yeah, see you then.